What's up guys, Joe Parfanuk here and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to get into one of the most costly mistakes that you can make starting out with your Amazon business. This one trap that you do not want to fall into can possibly get your account deactivated. If you follow the steps in this video, then the likelihood of getting your account deactivated is next to none. With these practices in this video, we mitigate our risk so we don't have to worry about getting in trouble with Amazon. With that being said, let's get into the tutorial where I'll walk you through step by step my entire process to see if a product is going to be risky or not. If you got value from this video, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Let's get into it.
What's up guys? Welcome to the tutorial on how you can avoid this costly mistake. So as a beginner Amazon seller, you want to understand what an intellectual property complaint is. And that is basically the brand saying you cannot sell this product on the listing and you are basically unauthorized to sell. And if you get multiple of these complaints against your account, then you can get shut down. So this is why you need to play caution here and have a tool that will help you identify what has an IP complaint against it. So this is IP Alert right here. Essentially, it is a crowdsourced tool that will tell you, has anyone gotten an intellectual property complaint against the brand? So basically how it's going to look on your thing here, when you go to a listing, it's going to pop up as saying this brand is known to file intellectual property complaints. And if we go look up a normal listing that does not have a brand that files intellectual property complaints, you're going to see a check mark next to it. So that way you'll know which one has an intellectual property complaint and which one does not against it. So if you see this red siren, you know that Kachava has filed an IP complaint against sellers. And the way to really identify it without having the software is to go look at the Keep a Graph. So if we're looking at the Keep a Graph here, and I'm going to show you two examples of this. So right here, we zoom in, we see the break in the graph, which is, I believe this was because of a safety complaint, which is separate from an IP complaint, but nonetheless, it's still a complaint against a product. And the listing got pulled, which means the listing was not available to sell on Amazon for around a couple days or so. It eventually came back, but we want to zoom in right here where Kachava filed an intellectual property complaint because there went from 44 sellers to 23. So it looks like they kicked off 23 sellers. If you are a new seller, you want to avoid this at all costs because if they come back again, then they can definitely kick you off the listing. And one thing to point out here is the price has dropped significantly here, which is another reason why brands will kick you off the listing is if you are violating the minimum advertised price, which is essentially like their price that they want to sell it at to hold the brand's reputation. But yeah, this is basically what you'll see, a free fall drop in the amount of sellers by dropping by 20. And we have another example here. So this also popped up. Looks like they filed an IP complaint. And I talked about this product in another video, but the brand is selling on the listing. So you see Vegamore, they are selling on the listing and the IP complaint. This is a double whammy here. You want to avoid this at all costs because they can essentially IP as much as they want. You know, they are on the listing. They have more incentive to IP at this point, and we already know for a fact that they are IP complaining sellers in this listing. And we can kind of see here as we zoom out. So if you zoom out here, you can see a lot of sharp decreases in the graph. So here we can see them kick off about 5 sellers or so. Looks like they kick off another 5 sellers here. We can definitely see that they started to file complaints against sellers. And another one over here, we can kind of see something going on. 9 to 4, looks like they kicked off 5 sellers again. So I know this is a fast-moving product, and it looks like really good off first glance, but you want to dive deeper into the analysis because they are filing complaints against you. Even if you come on this listing, they could kick you off. So this is not something you want to play with and not risk your account by going on this listing because we see tons of free fall drops within these last few months here. As you can see what I'm pointing out here, that's something you want to avoid at all costs when you see like a elevator drop essentially in the graph. So that's basically that. That's how you can identify an IP complaint. But if you're unsure based off this video even, then getting IP Alert will help you understand what is an intellectual property complaint and what's not because of this red light. And basically, obviously it's going to pop up and warn you that the brand has filed IP complaints. So if you're a new seller, I would recommend getting this just to essentially have that safety net so you don't fall into any traps of getting intellectual property complaints and then getting your account suspended. So the actual tool IP alert itself, we can see what it says on the page here because it's definitely important. So this is essentially what it would look like if you got an email from Amazon. We'd see a report from the rights owner complaining that you've infringed their trademark. So that's an example of an IP complaint and how it would look if you got an email. And I get these emails sometimes, my heart will drop whenever I get them. But at the end of the day, as long as you have the proper receipts, you will be okay. You just want to make sure that you avoid risks of getting multiple ones at the same time. And that's why a tool like this will be helpful. So the database has over 1,000 brands and 20,000 users that rely on it. And it's up to date. Chris Grant, who's made the software, he vets this data. So he makes sure that they actually got an email. He asks for a documentation to make sure that they actually got an email. And they have a free mobile version as well. So you can do this while you're sourcing RA, retail arbitrage. You can have this and type the brand and it will let you know while you're on the go. So yeah, a bunch of, testimonials here, but essentially there's two options. You can get the $99 per year lifetime or annual. You can get the $199 lifetime. So you can also get a $30 off discount if you use my code Joe30. It is in the description of the video if you want to go ahead and get this software. And, I definitely would recommend getting it for any beginner Amazon seller. I still use it to this day just to be careful. You never know. There's some tricky graphs you can see where it might not look like the elevator drops. So you want to make sure you have this tool because sometimes brands will kick off 1 to 2 sellers and it's sometimes hard to tell. So having this software is a really great backup plan. And obviously you can get your money back if you don't think it was worth it. And there is no free trial, but a 7-day money back guarantee. So yeah, sellers will lose their account from multiple IP complaints. So you want to make sure you have this tool because obviously deactivation is a risk, but if you mitigate your risk as much as possible, at the end of the day, it's very low risk that you'll ever get deactivated. So, you just want to make sure you have this as a safety net. And it is really just a no-brainer to get if you're starting out. $100 for the year, but actually it would be $70 with the discount code, which is not really much at the end of the day. That's like $8 a month to keep your account safe. It's totally, totally worth it. So I would definitely recommend getting this tool, but I hoped me just showing you what it would look like, as a real life example of an IP complaint will help you avoid them going forward. So yeah, hope you got value from this video. And if you did, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. See you on the next one.